long. Now this is a lot smaller town, and it was a far different time, so it was really hard to find a job for Bill. What eventually emerged was a little coffee shop called Wild Bill's Coffee Shop. It was and still is in North Hall on the university campus. When Bill got settled in, Barry decided he would write a story about Bill's life and what had happened, because this was quite a change from his days in the institution. And he became sort of a local celebrity. But when Barry finished the story became a screenplay for a movie. And Bill became a national celebrity. Mickey Rooney, in the middle of that picture behind me, played Bill, and a young Dennis Quaid played Barry. It was followed by a second film called Bill on His Own that also featured a young Helen Hunt as the University of Iowa student. It was the first time she didn't play a kid in a movie. And also Lyle Lovett made a cameo appearance, played one song as the characters playing Barry and Bill are walking along the beach. Much of the second film was filmed near Houston. Now, if you know your flora and fauna, you will see that's not Southern California, which is where it's supposed to be taking place. But it's too tropical, the bushes and shrubs and stuff. Anyway, but most people don't know that, and the movie was another hit. Bill died shortly after the second film was finished, but the coffee shop stayed, and it's still there. And we're the crosstown cousin. Once recently I said we're the bigger, badder Bills. And in addition to the coffee shop, we've always had a number of other projects percolating. And currently, of course, the performance space, the bookshop. We're working on a radio station, a local radio station. Over time, we've also had a vintage store, a record shop, and lots of other things. So our goal is to offer opportunities for small businesses to individuals with disabilities, and then to spin those off. Some of them are still around, like the furniture refinishing business, and an online business selling things on eBay. And many of the others have come and gone over the 17 years that Uptown Bills has been around. We've been in this spot here since 2010. So we're glad you're here. We're going to start off tonight. There's an art show opening going on, and we've got two representatives from Successful Living to tell us a little about the art show and the artists. So come on up and tell us what's happening.
All right. Hi, all. I'm Roger Gedkin. I'm the Executive Director at Successful Living. Thank you all for coming out, and I hope you guys go next door to check out the fabulous artwork that we have. A lot of our the people that we work with at our day hab has created the artwork over there, and I think everything, or at least most everything, is for sale. So don't be bashful about making some kind of an offer for what we have over there. So I'm excited that everybody's out here to kind of help support this kind of effort. So the artwork's going to be here all month long, and then hopefully we'll be one of those people who can take it home instead of it going back to these guys' places. But I did want to kind of do a quick plug about our agency, Successful Living, and we have, Katie and Uptown Bills has made this possible for us to be able to come out here every year to do an art show, and we also do operate programming. Not to get really too far into it, but we work with adults with chronic mental illness, and that's who created all this artwork that we have in the next room. So, but we have a lot of other programming, and this kind of helps support our efforts. It helps people get out in the community, get their art and talent, showcase their talents and such. And you guys just kind of being here kind of helps us support that. So, without really getting too far into anything else, I'll leave it over here to Katie to kind of talk a little bit more. All right.
Put this. Come on, Katie. I gotta put it down. I'm too short. All right. So my name is Katie Rasper, and I'm the Day Hab Director at Successful Living. So if anybody doesn't know what a Day Hab program is, it's basically a place where people can come and we provide groups for socialization, for cooking. Yep, that's a good one. Free food's always a big draw. We do art groups. We do groups that go out in the community. We do board games. We do yoga. We go to Planet Fitness. But yeah, way out of town, we're going to go to Lost Island. We're going to go horseback riding this summer. So we've got a lot of fun stuff in store. But we're really excited about this art show just because the clients have been working on this stuff all year. So it's a really good place for them to showcase their talents. And this is for everybody in Day Hab, but also some other people in our agency. We've got a housing program. We've got an outreach program. So people that live on their own who have counselors that help them with supported community living skills. So, you know, I can tell you about Day Hab, but sometimes it's better to hear from people who are actually in Day Hab. So I've got one of our Day Hab people here who's going to tell you just kind of why he likes coming to Day Hab. So this is Tim.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tim Miller. Just real quick, I moved up here about a year ago and started going to Successful Living. And some of the things I think I like most are the groups that we have. You know, I've been more inspired to paint, and I've learned to knit, and just a whole bunch of stuff that we do. It's awesome. And just living here in Iowa City is awesome. I've made a lot of new friends, so that's about the gist of it. Come on back, look at our artwork. It's awesome. We've really worked hard on it. I hope you guys come and look at it. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, Roger, Katie, and Tim. The show is here all month for the month of May. So come on down and visit us and see it. It's open whenever Uptown Bills is open. So we'd love to see you. We have this open mic every Thursday, and then we're open every other day as well. Maybe not as late into the evening, but come down and see the show. I was thinking maybe we should have the drawing now. My guess is that a few people may slip away if we don't have the drawing pretty early. All right, this is Maya, by the way.
Hi, Maya.
Okay, so we're giving away some biographies or memoirs today. The first one is Julie and Julia, and it's about a woman who decided to cook from Julia Child's cookbook every night for a year. And that one goes to Kat. And the other one is a biography of J.R.R. Tolkien. And this one is blank. That one goes to Richie.
All right. Thank you so much. Maya is one of two people helping out on Thursday nights. Maya and Emily. If you got a shake or a malt tonight, chances are Emily made it. So, and we'll hear from her later with the question. I was, let's see, where is Kyle? Kyle, we should get you up right now because we, I think, was it last week you were cut off? Yeah. In mid stream. Kyle was hoping to be on TV the last time he was here, but he got one song, and then it was the end of our hour, and it was over. So come on up, and you can get the full time tonight.
Do you want me to do all three or just the one? Since are we like?
Oh, go right ahead.
From last week, are we doing all three?
Different songs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're hoping for three.
All right.
You got three?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Wait, he left. Something I said? He left the stage. Oh, okay. Come on back. Maybe a joke before you start. What do you get when you cross a hedgehog and a giraffe?
A dodo bird.
Oh, that's good. A really large toothbrush.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Kyle Luck, and I was supposed to be third today, but I got a surprise, so it looks like I'm first up. If my family's watching again, I love you, and I hope you enjoy this performance. So the first song I'm going to do is a song that I've already performed, but it's goes really good with my voice, so I hope that I can sing it as well as I sang it last time. It's called When It Rains It Pours by Luke Combs. Sunday morning, man, she woke up fighting mad, griping and moaning on and on about the time I had. And by Tuesday, you could say that girl was good as gone. And then when Thursday came around, I was all alone. So I went for a drive to clear my mind, ended up at a Shell on I-65. Then I won $100 on a scratch-off ticket, bought 2 12-packs and a tank of gas with it. She swore they were a waste of time, all but she was wrong. I was caller number 5 on the radio station, won a 4-day, 3-night beach vacation. Deep sea senorita fishing down in Panama. And I ain't gotta see my ex-future mother-in-law anymore. Oh Lord, when it rains it pours. Now she was sure real quick to up and apologize when she heard about my newfound luck on that FM dial. And it's crazy how lately now it just seems to come in waves. What I thought was gonna be the death of me was my saving grace. It's got me thinking that her leaving is the only logical reason that I got the last spot in the Hooters parking lot, and the waitress left her number on my check with a heart she picked up on the first ring when I gave her a call. And I only spent $5 at the Moose Club raffle, won a used 4-wheeler and 3 free passes for me and 2 of my buddies to play around the golf. And I ain't gotta see my ex-future mother-in-law anymore. Oh Lord, when it rains it pours. When it rains it pours. And I've been on a hell of a redneck road for 3 weeks now. And it all started on the day that she walked out. Then I won $100 on a scratch-off ticket, bought 2 12-packs and a tank of gas with it. She swore they were a waste of time, all but she was wrong. And I was caller number 5 on the radio station, won a 4-day, 3-night beach vacation. Deep sea senorita fishing down in Panama. And I ain't gotta see my ex-future mother-in-law anymore. Oh Lord, when it rains it pours. When it rains it pours. That's the first one. Okay, the second one is called Forever Never Amen by Randy, I believe it's Randy Travis. So this song reminds me a lot about what true love really is, and just what I feel like when you love someone, this is how it should go, and this is how you should treat them. You may think that I'm talking foolish. You've heard that I'm wild and I'm free. You may wonder how I can promise you now this love that I feel for you always will be. You're not just time that I'm killing. I'm no longer one of those guys. As sure as I live, this love that I give is gonna be yours until the day that I die. Oh baby, I'm gonna love you forever, forever and ever, amen. As long as old men sit and talk about the weather, as long as old women sit and talk about old men. If you wonder how long I'll be faithful, I'll be happy to tell you again. I'm gonna love you forever and ever, forever and ever, amen. They say that time takes its toll on a body, makes the young girl's brown hair turn gray. But honey, I don't care, I ain't in love with your hair. And if it all fell out, well, I love you anyway. They say time can play tricks on a memory, make people forget things that they knew. Well, it's easy to see, it's happening to me. I've already forgotten every woman but you. Oh, darling, I'm gonna love you forever, forever and ever, amen. As long as old men sit and talk about the weather, as long as old women sit and talk about old men. If you wonder how long I'll be faithful, just listen to how this song ends. I'm gonna love you forever and ever, forever and ever, amen. I'm gonna love you forever and ever, forever and ever, forever and ever, forever and ever. Amen. Okay. Now this next song I'm kind of nervous about. It's called You've Got a Friend in Me. It's a classic from Toy Story. I've been practicing this, but I'm nervous about it, so I got my fingers crossed that it's going to go well. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said. Boy, you've got a friend in me. Yeah, you've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You got troubles and I've got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. We stick together and see it through, 'cause you've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. Some other folks might be a little bit smaller than I am, bigger and stronger too. Maybe, but none of them will ever love you the way I do. It's me and you, boy, and as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. Well, that is Kyle Luck for Thursday, May 10th. I hope you all enjoyed it.
Thank you. In addition to the other things I mentioned, Uptown Bills also has something we call the Uptown Bills Media Project. We have sometimes published books ourselves, but more frequently we have scouted out books by and about individuals with disabilities, and we have a special shelf in the other room for those books. So when you're looking at the art show, take a look at those as well. How about Emily? You think it's time? Come up and give us the collected wisdom of the audience for tonight.
Okay, so the question tonight was, what was the highlight of your day? And we actually had quite a few, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that said the highlight of their day was coming out here to Uptown Bills. So thank you guys, because you're the highlight of our day coming out here. Next we have talking to my sister I haven't talked to in months, talking to my kids, and coming here most definitely. We have, I fixed my mower handle. It broke in two and I welded it back together and finished mowing my yard. Practicing music a while and then walking the dog. And lastly, we have asking a person out on a date. So those were the answers for tonight. Thank you.
Nice. Did you notice Emily has a little more spring in her step? She's finished the semester at the university and survived. And are you taking any summer courses? No. Oh, okay. So she's just going to work on earning $1 million during the summer so she can go back to school in the fall, right? Okay. Pardon? She's going to sing next week. Tap dance. Tap dance. That's always our backup plan. So, okay, we got Beat Prairie and Satellite John next. Come on up and let's see. And while you're on your way up, maybe the other hedgehog joke. What do you get when you cross a hedgehog and a sheep?
A fuzzy toothbrush.
Oh, that's good. I like that. An animal that can knit its own sweaters. All right. You want Beat? You want the stool, probably? We're going to sit all together, okay?
Beat has a seat. Beat has a seat.
All right, and
I'm Beat Prairie.
And you are singing.
And you're not.
Okay.
Now.
Need to see this beat?
No, I'm going to listen to you and change chords.
That's the way to do it.
Convenient times.
Okay.
Okay, let me get a little sound for you.
Yeah, I want to get some crazy.
Test. I got two. We got 3 songs. First 2 of them are cover songs. The first one is called Red House. We'll start playing that. Start out, beat on slide.
You want E or what?
Yeah,
Right.
Let's go. 2, 3. There's a red house over yonder. That's where my baby stays. Lord, there's a red house over yonder. Lord, that's where my baby stays. I ain't been home to see my baby in 99 1/2 days. Wait a minute, something's wrong here. The key won't unlock the door. Wait a minute, something's wrong. Lord have mercy, this key won't unlock the door. Something's going on here. I have a bad feeling. she don't live here anymore. No more, no more. So I might as well go back over yonder, way back among the hills. That's what I'm going to do. Lord, I might as well go back over yonder, way back among the hills. Guess my baby don't love me no more, but I know her sister will. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next one next one's a Hank Williams song. Leon Redbone covered it too, so kind of learned from both of them. I went down to the river to watch the fish swim by, but I got to the river so lonesome I wanted to die, oh Lord. And then I jumped in the river, but the doggone river was dry. She's long, long gone, gone, and now I'm lonesome blue. I had me a woman who couldn't be true. She made me for my money and she made me blue. A man needs a woman that he can lean on, but my leaning and posing done left and gone. She's a long, long gone, gone, and now I'm lonesome blue. I'm going to find me a river, one that's cold as ice. And when I find me that river, Lord, I'm gonna pay the price. Oh Lord, I'm going down in it 3 times, but Lord, I'm only coming up twice. She's a long, long gone, gone, and now I'm lonesome blue.
All right. Now,
Thank you.
thank you.
Cut it short. That's it.
Don't anybody leave.
Okay, we got one more. This is a homemade one. It's called BB the Blues. And I'm
We're
gonna
gonna get a G in here, right?
I'm gonna get another harmonica
Get the
here.
right one.
Get the right one. Okay. Whoa, yeah. Whammo, yeah. Whoa, yeah. Whammo, yeah. Whoa, yeah. Whammo, yeah. You see me rocking and a rolling, but I really want to play the blues. The blues. You see me coming and going, but I really want to play the blues. The blues. You see me hiding and a showing, but I really want to play the blues. The blues. All right. Whoa, yeah. A whammo, yeah. Whoa, yeah. Whammo, yeah. Whoa, yeah. Whammo, yeah. The blues, the blues. Yeah, I really wanna play the blues. Whoa, the blues, the blues. Well, I really wanna play the blues. Whoa, yeah. Whammo, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was my favorite. A homemade one. Yeah, I like the last one.
All right, thank you very much. That was Beat Prairie and Satellite John. If you like what you're hearing and you're inspired, you can sign up for next week's open mic. 2 weeks from now is a special evening devoted to songs singing about Bob Dylan. So if you want to unleash your inner Dylan, that's the night to do it. You can sign up. The sign-up sheet is on the door near the front, and you get to do 2 songs, or you could do them as a spoken word if you wish. Now you got to come down and sign up in advance, so yeah, you got another week or so to ponder that. But on that night, we roll with the list that we have. So again, open mic next Thursday. We also have music every Saturday night. This week, Molly Dernan, who's an alternative songwriter, spent a lot of time in New York, is now on touring Eastern Iowa, and she'll be here Saturday night along with some local performers. Terry Shaw, if you've been at open mic, you've probably seen him during the last year. Remember, he's the one with the Ghost Band. And also a kind of country band called the Mahaffey Bridge Boys. So it'll be a great evening. That's Saturday night at 7 o'clock. If you are interested in more about what's coming up, there's a little calendar on the table by the door, or you can check our calendar on Google. We have a calendar out there that's got what's coming up in the next several weeks. All right, got one other little thing for you here. I was thinking about, I have come and gone from Iowa City more than once, And the first time I left, I wrote a little column, and I was reminded of it today. It was about this time in this time of year when I was leaving. So here we go. Bill was supposed to ride in the front seat, but there wasn't room. Boxes, bags, and a suitcase already filled that seat. So on this trip, he rode in the back. We had hoped for an early start on this adventure, but by the time we got going, it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So our long one-day trip turned into a 2-day trip. Bill and I and a whole lot of stuff headed up I-380 first that afternoon. We went through Cedar Rapids and Waterloo and New Hampton. From time to time, Bill would lean forward between the front seats. He was probably checking on my speed. We stopped in Spring Valley, Minnesota for the night. "Just you?" asked the desk clerk. "Yes," I said, but then I remembered about Bill. I wondered if I should tell the clerk that Bill was with me. I didn't. In the morning, we set out again. I wanted to drive over to Spring Grove and pick up a couple of cases of soda pop for the coffee shop. But then I remembered this was a one-way trip. Our second day was mostly driving. We did stop for lunch at Casa Zamora, a Mexican restaurant in Albert Lea. It's a place with a bunch of memories for my son Tom and I. I thought about the night when he first saw fireflies out in front of the place. I thought about the night we just jumped in the car and drove down from Minneapolis. But mostly it was driving, hurtling across the Midwest prairie. I imagine that most of the people on I-90 with us were on their way to the Black Hills. We went with them as far as Sioux Falls, but then turned north on I-29. When we got to the Aberdeen exit, there was a sign that said, "Pavement ends." I thought that was someone of my friends from Iowa City who ordered that sign to be put up to keep us from completing the trip. There was certainly a lot of construction, but the road was still there. Maybe I should stop here and explain that Bill wasn't actually a person, but a really large photograph of Bill Sachter and Zoe, the daughter of Barry and Bev Morrow. Barry and Bev were the people who brought Bill originally to Iowa City. The photograph had been in Bill's coffee shop for quite some time. It moved to Uptown Bill's when our crosstown cousin opened in 2001. Bill was a going-away gift to me when I left the first time. When we reached Aberdeen, I took Bill by the local synagogue. He was Jewish, you remember. I'd already met B and Herschel Premack, two of the 15 or so people who belonged to the congregation there. They didn't know the Bill story, but Herschel had some stories about the Jewish neighborhood in North Minneapolis where Bill grew up. That evening, unfortunately, no one was around the synagogue, so Bill and I drove over to the west side of town to watch the sunset. It was quite spectacular to see the sun go down on the edge of the prairie. Next morning, I took Bill over to the college where I was going to teach and showed him around. Eventually, he moved into the office with me. Then when people came to say, "Who's that guy in the picture?" I tell them the story of Bill and his remarkable life. I let them know, too, about his spirit, which still travels with us. Thank you. And that's it for tonight's program. Thank you all for coming. Hope to see you again. We'll do this again next Thursday. Thanks to Maya and Emily for helping us out. And thanks to all of you for coming and those of you who are watching. See you again soon, and have a nice evening.
It's so quiet.
I heard it good here. So, wait, it's the wrong one.
See?
factor.
You got it right. You didn't say Jesse Jackson.
I know. I have to think about it twice. And Eloy Barragan, who has been here before many times.
Yes.
And
thank you for inviting us back.
Yeah, it's wonderful to have you here. It's all the world of dance, and we like to talk about that or something else. I don't know, but anyway, I would say, why don't we start with you, Jesse? So you can tell us something about who you are. A lot of people know who you are.
A lot of people know who I am.
Yes, you are really something in Iowa City.
Yeah, well, most recently I've been doing quite a bit of solo work, making dances. I just got back from Madison, Wisconsin 2 weeks ago, where we went for the American College Dance Association. And so there's 47 dances that are all shown. And I did a piece I made last year called Mommy Queerest that was sort of interested in the legend of Joan Crawford via Faye Dunaway, you know, the transfer of an idea from body to body that sort of still rings true, and sort of the idea of camp, what camp is, the aesthetics of camp, and how to render that.
What is it?
Yeah. So camp is many things. You know, Susan Sontag wrote a famous essay, Notes on Camp, which she sort of, one of my favorite lines is, it's not a woman, but a woman. It's not a lamp, but a lamp. That it's sort of camp recognizes the fundamental, like, performative nature of our lives, especially with gender.
Yes.
And so, also, there's something about camp in terms of like, sort of like gay history, gay culture, gay gossip circles. You know, the idea that often the tragic and the comic are held very close together. So, for instance, in Mommy Dearest, the film, when you know Joan Crawford is having all the drama with her daughter, because as a gay person in particular, sometimes the idea of the nuclear family can be very painful or removed for gay people. That we often find things like that quite funny. But also quite tragic at the same time. So it's holding those two things. Camp can often be, you know, taking something that's very serious and making it very ridiculous, or taking something that's very ridiculous and making it very serious.
Right.
So I really love the aesthetic play that camp can do, and then how a dance work can sort of employ that for the body. So Mommy Queers was a piece that was kind of done about, you know, Joan Crawford and power and gender and the idea of the diva and the idea of a mother. Anyway, so there are 47 dances shown at Madison, and this dance was chosen for the final gala.
Wow.
So there were 13 dances at the gala, which is great. And you know, what I love about but I sort of saw myself as like sort of like the audacious dance provocateur. You know, most of the dances, you know, the curtain went up and the dancers were on the stage. But for my dance, the curtain goes up, and you know, you hear you remember old movies, Fox 20th Century, when you hear the trumpets, dun, 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 dun. So the blank stage is just dark, and you hear the trumpets, and then all of a sudden you hear the swirling music from the original Sunset Boulevard, and I'm in the audience standing there, and everybody's turning around. Like, who's she? And then I turn around and I have my full beard, right? So it's like this idea that from behind I'm wearing this beautiful white dress, and sort of like, okay, that's the shape, a feminine shape, perhaps, right? And then I turn around and it's this face that's like...
It's a beautiful face, but when you have hair...
So I was interested in like mixing those things and sort of being this dissonant. Same thing with tragic and comic, you know, that's blurring the binary of like also blurring the binary of gender, holding these things together. So anyway, at the end of that, they choose 3 pieces to go to the Kennedy Center at the summer, and Mommy Queerest was chosen as the first. No, it's no, it's the first alternate.
Go there.
So I'm kind of thinking that maybe anyway, just go to Washington D.C. this summer and like have like the ACDA concert, but then like find a space next door and call the alternate show.
Do it. Yes.
That would be
You
good.
should do it. You can do it.
Funny,
You can
right?
do it right there outside. You can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just there with my white dress on. Mommy queer. But I really like dance that can. I'm interested in dances that, you know, I don't shy. Many choreographers, you know, don't particularly care for acting. You know, some choreographers have a thing about that, but I welcome that. I think of the dance. I'm interested in dance that proposes a theatrical body, a hyperbolic body, an excessive body. I'm interested in like pushing beyond boundaries to see where the everyday life, the quotidian life, sort of like finding the excess of that. I feel like that's what dance, for me, that's what I like my dances to do.
I have seen several pieces of yours, and all of them, I love them dearly. But tell me, I would like you to explain us what is this, because in every single piece I see a little bit of touch, especially with the first one that I saw from you, Marthogany. That every single piece has something that I believe that is embodied in yourself. It's about Martha. So all your pieces, that drama and theatricality, it connects with all of your work. Tell us about that. Do you think that that's part of what your voice or your signature as a choreographer, or is something that is perhaps is something that is happening to you now, and you see something developing to something else?
I think this is such an interesting question because I've thought about this a lot myself. Of like, why am I doing this again? And I think because I trained at the Martha Graham School. I had seen the Graham Company when I was 16 or 17. They were on tour, and my mother said, "Oh, we're going to go see Martha Graham." And I said, "Oh, is she a singer?" I had no idea what to expect. And I remember sitting there and just thinking, I had never seen anything so beautiful in my life, and that I felt it was a poetic body. It was this beautiful sense of theatrical communication without language, but I just felt like I experienced, not understood, but it was sort of like this intellectual, emotional experience that was unparalleled to anything that I had felt in a theater before. It was so unique. So I really loved the uniqueness of it. So I went to the Graham School, and I studied. I'd go there and I would be there all day, take 2 classes a day and have rehearsal, and then I'd go into the studio by myself in the dark and practice. I took it very seriously because I felt so passionate about it. I really wanted to learn.
That's the only way. To be serious and dedicated, otherwise.
So, I danced in the second company for 3 years, and then I danced with the main company on touring for about a year, and then I had an injury. So the whole time I was dancing there, I loved the repertory. I loved it. It was great. But as a man in the Graham world, I was always going to the gym. I felt like I had to be like this Adonis version of myself that really wasn't me. And I'd always be in the corner, like watching the women, being like, "Ooh," because the women in the Graham work are so powerful. And I love the way that they move, but I just really was interested in some of the other work that wasn't accessible to me when I was in the company. So, but in class, everyone does the same material. So I would always feel like, oh yeah, this knee vibration feels good. I like that. So I see the work now, to answer your question, as sort of like the chance to sort of like live out this unreconciled part of myself that I was like, well, I want to do that. And now there's a chance to self-invent, self-fashion the work in that way. But there's just something, what I really love about the Graham work is the poetic abstraction and the drama of it, is that it's so stripped of any type of ornamentation. It's so definite. It's just like the thing at its barest essential, like the lifting of an arm or like the depth of a contraction, just the simple thing. So I was just really interested in how to keep going back to that, through the simplicity that reveals the drama. It's like sort of in a way of like in other times putting on the mask, right, of the whatever I choose to wear reveals the truth. So I'm really interested in like the way the inverse of these things can work. And for me, I think that's
very interesting because I mean, when you were Marthogany, it was like so precise, so glam.
Yeah.
At the same time with this kind of like mask and that is almost like what you were talking about camp. Something very serious and create some another perspective and then flip it again, and it's like wow. So that duality is very, very taken.
Yes.
I'm learning the more I do it, the more I do like the different pieces, like how the way, like the sort of like the dramaturgical shifts that can occur, like how to set the viewer up for a certain experience that then you flip, surprise them in a way, or that something's going on the whole time that they don't realize until the very end, or things like that. But,
so do you think as part of the work that you are going to continue be doing as a solo performer, Martha will be there all the time? I mean, it will be. And there will be some diva and fabric or... Yes.
So now it's really interesting. Like Marthogony started as a single piece, you know, that was based for all the work. I try to be as, like you were saying, as specific as possible with the source material. So like Marthogony has continued to grow. So it's actually a 25-minute piece now, which I recently did in Austin, and it has different parts. And like now the first part that I did is actually the ending, because the whole thing sort of starts with this idea of like fabric and you know excess to then in the end the shedding of the skin. So it's evolving through these different iterations.
I see. We should see, you know, maybe Gerardo can show us some of the pictures that Jesse sent us. Because they show the makeup and the fabric and the movement. I think it'll be nice for people to see what
if it's
what
possible,
it is.
that will be great.
Yes, I don't know. Okay, look at that.
That's Marthogony. That's the opening of Marthogony. That skirt is about 8 feet long.
The skirt is beautiful. I saw that. I saw part of that, and I couldn't believe what he was doing with fabric. It was pure perfection. Yes.
And again, that's researched with Graham archival a piece. So I found it very interesting to take certain little pieces of it and then refashion it in my own way to this Diana Ross.
Right. Yes, I know.
It's very incongruous. I really love that.
Yes,
to make a third thing a new thing.
So look at that. What? Oh, that's so fun.
That piece is also part of Marthogony, and that I pulled that idea from a piece called Heretic that I saw when I was a teenager that Martha did, and she's all in white against a group that's all dressed in black. So I took some of the physicality of that, but the idea, and then I found a recording of Diana Ross singing The Impossible Dream at Caesar's Palace in 1969, I think. And there was something sort of like the idea that like you keep working but you never quite arrive, like to bear, like there was something about sort of like, the diva, like she makes her pain, her private pain becomes public in a way, like whether it's Princess Diana or it's Joan Crawford or whoever it is at the moment, it's like we feel we are we're able to see her, she's available to us in a different way.
Right. Yes. Okay.
So that's the first Marthogony that I ever did. That was originally based on, the source material was Lamentation, just the imagery of the skirt being stretching inside your own skin, and then it comes off and things happen.
I know. Yes. And I think we have one or two more.
There's one more. That's Marthogony as well. The more I do that piece, the more fun I have with it, and I just love the idea that when the lights first come up, it's like this white face floating in the dark, like almost like a ghost.
And when I think about that piece, it's a piece that really touched the people from the very essence of their hearts. It's kind of like you look at it and you want to cry. It's like so pure, and it's a kind of for me, it's kind of a sorrow.
Yes.
And it's like. I cannot explain, but it's something that really touches to everybody in different way, but it's something very personal.
I think so too. I think it's like that idea, what I find so beautiful about much of Martha's work and her philosophy is that, like you were saying, is that it's like this human condition that's, you know, it's non-negotiable. Like everyone mourns at some point in their life, but then it is very specific and individual to each person and their own experience in life. So I think, you know, now that we're talking about it, that's what the work sort of endeavors to do, is sort of like find that, whether it's mommy queer, is like everyone has a mother, right? So, and everyone's been yelled at by their mother at some point. So that's like sort of like the non-negotiable, right? Yeah. And that's why I think part of the reason the piece is so funny is because it takes that and just pulls it to the extreme.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm interested in that, of like the finding the twists on those like collective experiences that everybody.
And you like to work with fabric.
I love working with fabric. Yeah.
Yes.
Because I think what fabric does, like, and you've worked with fabric a little bit too, Eloy, in some of your pieces, which I really love. You know, when you have that red scarf in like maybe 2015, I think.
Yeah, 2014.
Yeah, it came from the sky. It was gorgeous. But what I like about fabric is that I think it almost makes the trace of the dance last a little longer because it's like an extension of the body. And so why I loved that purple skirt is that I felt like it truly, like, it gave life to what I felt I was doing, but in another dimension, right? Yeah, so I love that. Or like then with the other fabric and at the end of Marthogony, it's like the stretching inside of that. Like, so working with these two, like either the exploding or like the imploding or the tiny tensions in between it. I love fabric, and there's so many different things to do with fabric and working with it.
I would like to mention that Jesse, I mean, this is his work, but he's very respected with the Graham Foundation. They're very respected there because of Jesse, the department, the University of Iowa Advanced Department. We had the opportunity, and they gave us the rights to be for himself setting up Martha's work.
Yeah.
So that's something that is very something to admire and to respect.
And it's I'm curious about the Martha Graham Company. Do they have to give you some kind of permission to do what you are doing, or you can just take the piece and rebuild it?
For the piece that I set at the University of Iowa, yes, there's Graham Resources, which is sort of like the archival home of all of the pieces. So they license out the work for for institutions like higher ed and high schools that want to perform the work. So that was a special agreement, and then we worked really hard for a long time. And I was so proud of the dancers, especially they got to go to the Joyce and do it in New York. So
I remember
for the department, it was for me as a faculty here, it was really a gift. To do a work from Martha, an icon of the contemporary dance, is a privilege. It's a privilege. So we were very fortunate to have Jesse, and then that he got these rights to set it and to set it in our students. And it's something that they learn and they will never forget. They did a lot of work, and they went to New York and performed there with other universities, other institutions. But just that the learning of a master. That's something that is like to never forget and to always have it as a life experience.
I think also for that was really beautiful to see a lot of the students, you know, I would see them in other work and see how they had sort of grown or changed as performers, and what sort of like the experience inside the Graham work. I mean, because we started it the summer before we started it in like May. We had a couple of workshops in May of 2016, I think. And then we came back to school in August of 2017. And then they were done in February of 2017. So we came, 2016, 2017 is when we were working. I mean, they were with it for almost 6 months. So they really, I think a lot of the core principles, you know, the Graham, the powerful center of the body, the contraction, the release, the three-dimensional sense of spiral. And some of the students that really got into it, like I think their bodies were changed. You know,
they did change. Their approach to movement changed. And I think that because of Jesse's work, I mean, the detail that he gives them, but also about the detail that the technique, Graham's technique is very, very difficult. And you really need to really work to the highest level. So I think that was that's what all these students. It's when I saw them in other pieces.
Yeah.
They learned that, so they said,
Yes.
I need to really raise the bar all the time, and that was something that they will always be good for them.
Yeah, I mean, I just love the piece has music by Carl Nielsen. He's a Danish composer, and it sort of starts as the sun begins to rise, and there's this sense of beginning.
What was the piece?
Helios.
Helios.
From Acts of Light. So it's a triptych that Martha made near the end of her life, and so the piece that we did was very challenging, which was great for the dancers. They really had great, there were big jumps in second onto the floor and up again, and pitch turns, and
there were many dancers.
There were many dancers. I think I had 17 and 2 understudies. It was a huge cast, so it's a lot to be working with, and lots of different sections. But I just loved hearing that music every day, and I loved, working with them every day. It was such a great experience. So.
Now, when you teach at the university, what kind of technique do you teach?
I do teach a grand fundamental class. I just feel like the core of the, of course it's adaptable to any, population. But I think like the core idea of like finding your center of power is really